So, Stacy, from your last podcast, we're going into the looping has begun. We're in the last stage of ascension, basically, for Earth. Right? Is that how you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Can you describe what you see it as? Because you describe it as a loop and as a pulling happening, and I see it more as a frequency shift. All within like different frequencies within the same field are changing simultaneously and co-inhabiting.
Like when I think of pulling, I feel like it's pulling apart. And that can be mean a lot of things to a lot of people, where there could be a literal sense to that, where like Earth basically splits into two different Earths. To me, more now, it feels more of like a metaphorical split. It's like it has to be pulled apart for it to actually split. So that's what my guides are saying. They're like, there has to be a frequency pull apart before there can be a split that happens.
That's interesting. So are we just pulling out the old density that no longer can reside? Like we're not compatible. We're going to be releasing what no longer serves us. And that is the pull apart, pulling away from fear and that matrix loop that controlled us.
Yeah, it is about control. It's about all of the lower frequencies that are based off of everything that love isn't, but control, what they use for control, fear, manipulation, this victim mentality. It all is like in one lump, and it's kind of like how whatever way you're matching with frequency right now is where you're kind of gonna be.
Yeah, like you don't have a choice anymore. You kind of had to get to this point, or can they still raise their frequency out of that?
They're saying that it's like, it's sad. Like I feel this deep sadness that it's almost like you know that it's like a parting of ways and you're sad over it.
Like a goodbye, like a grief.
Yeah. It is a grief, like feeling like they're saying to me now that there's a climactic event where there will be a wake up. There will be a wake up. A great massive awakening. It hasn't triggered. It hasn't triggered yet, but it's going to take a lot of it's going to take a lot of like basically stuff getting pulled away from us, taken away from us that we feel normal on Earth. It's going to be basically a crumbling for them to actually wake up and see the truth, because it has to happen that way. Otherwise,
it has to. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm like, yeah, you have to see. Basically, the foundation's been cracked of our entire existence, of everything we understand as, you know, our matrix. The foundation is crumbling underneath and it needs to fucking implode. I'm sorry, I already swore. It needs to implode.
Yeah.
And I think we have to witness that. Everything people have been built their lives up for has been a total lie. Your retirement, go to college, school, do this work, 9 to 5, the whole slave system that they put us in has to literally crash and burn for some of those people to even wake up, because they're comfortable in their slavery, I guess is a nice way to phrase that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the system is what blinds people, because they become complacent. And the only way I can think of it almost feels like people don't know how precious life is.
Take it for granted.
They take it for granted. And I sometimes do. We all do. But I'll sit there and have a moment of clarity where I'm like, I'm so grateful for water. Like, just water. Please don't let it ever run out. Like, I don't want to suffer. I don't want to have to go through the suffering. There's some people that kind of have to go through it for them to learn. But I don't think it's about suffering anymore. I think it's about coming out of that. And then there's this realization like, oh, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Like the veil gets lifted from their eyes. So I think that happens for a lot of people. I just don't know when. I don't
honestly,
know if it's gradual.
I feel like we're still going to get some sort of shock and we're waiting for it. I just know it's going to have zero expectation, but I know that it's still going to rock my core somehow.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a complete culture shock to us. Like, what? And so we're gonna be like, we already knew. Well, we already kind of knew, but we're not in this like ego, like, oh, I told you so kind of feeling. We're just kind of like,
No.
we're just waiting because we're the weirdos right now.
Yeah, we are. We're leading the weird front for sure.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it's just it is hard to wait and sit here and you're just like,
Well, and then when you realize, you know, we're sitting here counting the time, but time doesn't really matter. It's not a real existence here. It just feels like it. And so we're sitting here trying to put things on a map and time it out and get it to fit our schedule of ascension. And that's a joke.
yeah,
It all has to line up. We've got so much planetary alignment that it's powerful right now. And the stars are aligning. And that's why I keep feeling this sense of like, there's nothing I can do anymore because it's already aligned. And I just have to go with the flow. And I think that's where we're at. And with
because if you rush it, that's where you go wrong.
And I don't even want to put expectations on what I think is coming because I feel like it's going to limit us on how great it will be. Like I just feel being sovereign and getting back to actually being a collective conscious, being one is the goal for me.
Do you feel like with you, because this is happening to me lately, where the old programming of your subconscious mind is kind of starting to lose power?
Yeah, but not without a fight. Definitely old programming coming up and trying to like pull you back into the old frequencies, lower frequencies.
Yeah.
And trying to get like a stronghold, kind of like something that knows it's dying off, but it's its last attempt to drag you down with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of fear, a lot of worthiness issues. Like the Matrix trying to tell you ain't good enough. You got to do more, more, more.
Fine during the day, and then when night comes, that's when I leave my body a lot, and I'm astral. I don't know where I'm going, but it's, you know, I'm still in my body, but I'm basically astral projecting. You know, I'm seeing other things going on, and it's like my higher self is like, "Hey, we have work to do, so you're gonna come along and witness this, but this is my will, not yours." Like my higher self wants me to do these things, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm scared to do this." Because it's seeing the dark stuff that's under the rug on Earth, and there's nasty stuff under the rug, and I don't want to see it. Right. And so I've been having to see that, and that's where the fear comes up at nighttime, where I'm like, "Oh no, what am I going to see tonight?"
Right, your anticipation of
I don't know. I don't want to go there, and then when it's over, I'm like, "That wasn't so bad. I was never in harm." You know,
you've gotten so much stronger too, and standing in your own power, facing that is everything. You're untouchable when you stand in your own power.
Right. If we were to think of like when you said this is the looping, the great loop or something. So the loop is fear itself. Okay.
Oh.
So they're saying that if you want to make this about fear, make it about not people. Don't place judgment on others. Make it about fear itself looping in on itself.
Okay.
Make it about these energies having nowhere to go.
That makes total sense.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting.
Okay. So if we're talking about the looping and it beginning, we're talking about fear and how it has nowhere else to go because I want to say negative sides, the ones who've been in control, that's how they controlled everything, was through fear and looshing off of us. And our knowing of that fear is no longer feeding them. That system's been closed. It's a closed loop now in on itself. Does that sound accurate? Fear is now on a closed loop in on itself. And by doing that, it's going to be a self-destruction.
Yes. Resonance with that. Complete resonance with that. Yeah.
Because that makes
Oh, that felt good because it's like when you said it, it
Mm-hmm.
finalized it as truth.
Well, I
Like,
could see it
yeah.
too, because the other way of doing that with the flower of life, you're spiraling up, right? You're coming out of it for ascension, but you keep passing parts of your life that, you were hurt in this stage, and you go around and you're climbing up, and either you're going to be the same hurt, react the same way, and stay on that loop and go downward, or you can change your behavior and climb up. So we've locked that fear into a closed loop, so it can't go up or down. It must burn out.
It has to have an exit point.
Can it go back through source or through violet flame to be transmuted?
So, okay, so this is how I'm saying it. We already know there's dark beings on the planet, dark ETs, dark aliens.
Right.
I've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
They've controlled our planet for so long, and we've been a slave planet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, at one point when I was like in my sleep, I was like, well, wouldn't the best thing for them to do is just we could push them off the earth, like, push them off. I thought, and I was getting this feeling like, oh, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
don't do that. We have to corner them.
We had to
Yeah.
trap them.
The only way. Yeah, like,
So smart.
well, not that we're doing it, but like the collective is doing
The
it.
collective,
Like,
yeah.
light workers that are fighting the darkness, energetically speaking. There's military, there's good, I'm not going to name names or anything because I don't know, but I know the work is being done.
Yes.
The dirt's getting pulled from underneath the rug. There's good people out there fighting for a good cause. The only thing that I'm feeling that is like not good are people that are doing the work for their own gratification.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That's part of the old system.
Yeah.
Working that way to have your own personal gains. It's not for the collective. That's makes sense that would be a negative pull there.
Yeah. So when I'm getting that there's this ganging up of the kind of like cornering the darkness, cornering these dark beings. And I feel like, and I saw this during Christmas time, they're hiding underground. They're like, a lot of them are underground. And I went there like during Christmas Eve, because like every Christmas Eve, I have been pulled into these nasty rituals where they weren't alien beings doing these rituals, but they were worshiping these alien beings. And they were doing horrible things to children, sacrificial things. And every Christmas Eve, for the past 4 years, I've been pulled into these rituals while I'm trying to go to sleep, trying to have peace, praying to God, praying to Jesus, making it about Jesus because it's like his time, supposedly.
Yes.
Like they're using that as a weapon. And then getting pulled into these horrible things. This year, I didn't get pulled into that because the cults were gone. The cults.
Dude.
Where did they go? I don't know, but they don't have power anymore. Like their power has been taken from them. And so then when this Christmas Eve, this fear came over me, but it was like a ancient. My guides just told me don't use his name. It's an ancient dark entity, and it said what it was, and I said, oh, okay. And then I was singing Peace on Earth, like as I told you in my email. I was singing Vince Gill Peace on Earth in my mind because that was like a song. I was like letting him sing it. And then this dark being was like not liking it, not having it.
No way.
And then I'm like, well, screw you then. I just started like taking this big speaker and blasting it on Earth. And it got even more upset. And it's like, oh, this is not happening. So it put me down into this room. It was like a bunker with like all these other ones. And there were other people in there too. Like they were feeding off of them and they couldn't get out, but they had completely gotten just almost like, they just gave up. They couldn't get out.
Yeah, just defeated.
I mean, I don't know if these are real people there. They were real people. I don't know how abductions can happen, where some people might feel like they're getting abducted they might fully get abducted, but I feel like they can also abduct your
Your
soul,
energy. Yeah.
your soul, because
Mhm.
you can leave your body at any time during the night, or you can
Yeah,
astral
you
travel.
leave. Yeah. You have to be
So
careful.
it's crazy because I was there and I felt like I was there. And the only thing I could do, because I was like, oh, there's really no way out of here, except to just sing that Peace on Earth song. And I couldn't see who was in the room because it was so dark. All I could feel were energies around me. Some were
Mhm.
really, they hated the song, and some were like kind of looking to me for help. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. It was a weird feeling because it didn't last that long before they kicked me out. Like, okay, you win. Anyway, I got out of there, and above it was CERN,
Mm.
like the Hydra, but it was
Yep.
it was like showing me CERN. It was showing me this device that they somehow were connected to, because that is basically how they got in, like how these beings even got in to feed off of Earth because of this fissure that like had gotten created from CERN.
So that's what I was just going to ask. Did they come in through the fissures, cracks that CERN created on accident? Well, supposed accident, whatever. I won't say that. Or were they coming in through like a portal through CERN?
The way I saw it was like these scientists were trying to study like the
Mm.
universe, and they were creating, like, you can read about the hydron, what is it called, the Hydron
Metro
Collider.
collider. Mm-hmm.
You can read about it. What they're doing is creating mini black holes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're crushing subatomic particles together at extreme velocities in these massive machines and creating black holes. But black holes, as we know, are holes. Like it's basically uh fissures. It was creating
Yes.
fissures within our universal fabric of space time, because I saw the way it worked was our Earth was supposed to be, every planet, it's like sitting on this beautiful fabric. It was just
Mm-hmm.
God's fabric. It's just so beautiful.
Mm.
And you're not supposed to be tearing through that.
No,
No. So
please don't.
so they're just trying to play scientist, they're trying to play God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not inherently evil or anything. Like, they're not trying to create wormholes for negative ETs to come over and take over our planet. I don't think that they meant to do that. I just think that they were trying so hard to play, like, the ego gets ahead of people and they want really badly to understand. They're going to figure it out. And a lot of them don't believe in God. So
Mm-hmm.
if they were to take spirituality even and tie it all together with science, they'd be like, oh, here it is. Here's the pot of
Yeah.
gold. But what that was doing, and I wrote this in the email, which, like, I'll try to my best to break this down. I saw it in my mind and I kind of had to write it out. And it was like creating these fissures. But the way the universe is designed, it's just this beautiful fabric of energies, but it's all based on balance, universal balance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's this beautiful fabric, and then in other outer dimensions, I can't even completely see it, like how it works, but there's collectives within galaxies, and those are considered outer dimensions.
Right.
But there is like a fabric between all of that, like inner fabrics. I don't know how the network. It's like a network, like a brain.
I
Like
just pictured the fascia system of our human body, but of like the universe. So it's like the mycelium network of connective tissue, but the mycelium network of energetic tissue fabric layers.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's like branches. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Say it yes.
Mm-hmm.
Branches to these other galaxies, and they're calling them galaxies, outer dimensions, outer collectives. And there is like it's almost like, we're branched, but we're not like separated. We still have this is God's network, basically.
It's connective tissue network.
But you can't reach those outer dimensions, those outer collectives, by punching a hole in the fabric.
You weaken it.
Well, the way I saw it was the only thing you're going to find underneath the fabric, inside the fabric, to punch a hole in it, are things that you don't want to find. Inner dimensions. And I
Yeah.
talked about this in my last podcast I did with my friend, where I was telling her I didn't want to go into interdimensions and what they meant. But then I learned what they were because I was having to face this darkness. And I'm like, where did these things come from? And why are they here? And I think it's all about timing. And it's like the fear is rising up. And in order for us to kind of heal it, we have to feel it. We have to feel it.
And we have to alchemize it. There's
Yeah.
so much coming up. We have to alchemize it because there's no getting rid of it, but we can change what the heck it is. We can change the frequency behind it.
Alchemizing is the perfect word for that. Because you can't, like you said, you can't burn it. You have to alchemize it. You have to basically take the fear itself and turn it into courage. For it to kind of, and like love in all of its essence is beautiful and soft and delicate. But if you take the masculine energy and you take fear out of it, you have courage, you have strength, you have intelligence, and it doesn't have to be feared anymore.
Right.
You can alchemize it and make it one collective. I don't know how to get back to where we were, but basically these fissures, I saw there, because there's these other planets within our galaxy. Some of are in our galaxy. These masculine forms of energy, they're like ETs, and they're just born from the masculine energy. They don't have any feminine energy origins. So it's basically like they are who they are. You can't really help that, but they're based off of intelligence, mathematics, and then they started to go further from that. And it was all about conquer over the universe. They wanted complete control over the universe. Like they wanted to dominate it.
That's that hyper intelligence. You just keep going, keep growing, control.
You keep growing and growing in the other direction. So there's no complete lack. There's no resonance with love, no coherence with love at all. Yeah. So they created these pockets of interdimensions. And they basically looked like, oh God, they were awful. But what do you think the CERN did when it creates these fissures and the fabric breaks? Well, that's where those interdimensions are. They're linked to these pockets because the way the universe is designed with this beautiful fabric, if you're not on the balance, if you're not in a what's that one religion that calls it the Tao?
Oh,
Hinduism? Following the Tao.
Yeah.
It's like the yin and the yang. You have to follow the Tao. And if you go too far in one direction, so it's like that is what that basically we're playing scientists, we're opening these fissures, and then it's like they wouldn't have known where Earth was. Earth is tiny. Earth is just basically, it's not like it's easy to find, but it's like taking a red flag and going, hey, we're right here.
We're over here. We're easy pickings.
Yeah. They're saying that it was a energy
signal
because we're in the third dimension. They're looking for planets in the third dimension. So they were trying to find them.
So why was the third dimension important? Because is that a frequency field that is completely, I guess, on its own loop and collapsing in on itself everywhere?
Yeah, all third density planets are planets that have the veil, or planets that are in a lower stage of evolution that are still learning and evolving. So they're the perfect planets to take control over.
But I'm curious, are we one of the last ones, or is there more? Are we the last planet to go from 3D to actually ascend up? Is that why there was such a war here, such a picking?
I do see there's still other third density planets. They're still around. They're still there. I still see some. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I still sense there's some left. Like, I think they need to be there. I think they're a part of evolution for people that aren't quite ready. And they're just like, okay, well, they need to continue learning. So they're going to go to those planets now. But with this great polarity that happened, even though it's so scary to think that we have been kind kind of in a prison type planet with these beings trying to take over our planet and feed off of us, feed off fear.
And yes.
Which feels like, disgusting.
Yeah.
But from a higher perspective,
Mm-hmm.
like, can you think about how that would be from a higher perspective?
I just keep feeling the grossness.
Oh, well,
Like,
I was too. It's so easy to get sucked into that. But like,
yeah.
there was one evening where I was kind of arguing with God, and I was like, I was just so upset that that we're going through this, and we had to go through this for so long. And he's like, but if we hadn't.
Well, think of that for any personal growth. You literally have to go through the dumpster that's on fire and look at yourself in the mirror and grow out of that. Otherwise, you just burn. You have to learn from it.
Yeah, I just see that it's like from a higher perspective, what has come from it. Like the fact that love was so delicate in the very beginning, and it had to grow exponentially through masculine and feminine origins, but they were separate at one point. So in order to have that middle ground and to find that perfect balance, you kind of had to play with the dark and know the dark and have
embody
to get embody it, and also have to be victim to it. Even though it's awful to think about the suffering that's been involved, and now we're reclaiming our power. So it's like, that is where the new energy is. It's reclaiming power.
It just seems like the balance of masculine and feminine energy is coming back into each body. It's not like the divine union of man and woman is the divine union within, which is also emanating out for the collective consciousness. And that sets a frequency field.
Yeah, and the melting pot of Earth, like I was telling my friend, because she had just emailed me, the one that I did the last podcast with. She just emailed me today, and she's like, I get it now, because like our podcast was long, and I had to kind of condense it down, and it was the 7 stages of Earth's graduation, and all the stages of what we had gone through, and that one's like, the first stage was when Earth sent out a call for help because of these beings taking over our planet. So the call for Earth came out, and what it did is it triggered a mass, the call for help, which was like huge. Every planet within all these other collectives of other outer dimensions came here to incarnate on this tiny little planet to help us, to help Earth, and to help the beings on it that were kind of trapped here. Yeah. So we were in cycles. We've been in cycles of karma.
Yeah.
And it's like going back to Earth school, and this time you have to go back and make a contract with this person to go and pay back this debt. And you're just constantly stuck in this thing you think is helping you grow, but you're on a hamster wheel.
Yep.
And we've been on that for way too long.
So my understanding of the karmic loop, because that was also a prison system in itself at a certain point. It was used to trap us in a karmic loop consistently over and over, draining us into the same negative energies, different lifetime, different form, but you're stuck in that negative, dragging it down, feeding the nasty system. Understanding that karmic system prison loop is broken, we now can go back to our higher self and learn our lessons like we're supposed to when we pass away, right? And get all the lessons we need and go back in our book of review so that we can go somewhere else or another place to ascend to keep elevating our souls. And with that karmic system on Earth, that I want to say stipend, but I don't think that's right. It blocked off other beings from being able to elevate their ascension to raise the frequency of their home planets. Like everybody's connected to that. So that karmic prison put on Earth for that loop consistently to feed a negative dark system is broken. And now we can keep ascending. But with that, my understanding was that they were hurting the universe by not allowing souls to leave out of the karmic loop. And it was a ripple effect negatively coming from Earth.
Yeah. Totally feel that. That's why it's like, it's all about cosmic unity. So it's like,
Yeah.
even though there's a lot of people that say there's nobody helping us, these alien, they think in a literal sense aliens are supposed to be helping us, but it's like, no, you guys, people, okay, it's like it's probably one of the hardest things you could possibly do, leave your beautiful home planet and incarnate on this world that's basically prison. And
Yeah, go to a prison system.
Hey, we're gonna go to prison to help.
Is this a prison or a spa?
And it's like there's so many volunteers, but there's not really that many. I'm shown one from each planet, maybe two,
Ooh.
because they're the bravest ones.
Ooh. I'm tired.
She's tired. Well, I've been on Earth, so like that's what's crazy about meeting you.
Yeah.
Our friendship, because I've been on Earth since I don't know how long it's been, but I was one of the prisoners here for so long, and
Yeah.
even when we met, I kind of just was like, "Oh my God!" It's like a breath of fresh air because it's like almost seeing like a color for the first time that you've never seen before.
Yes.
Kids are like, "Whoa, I've never seen that color. Where'd that come from?" That's what I saw when I met you.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful.
And I can't even describe the color you are because I only have the colors of Earth that I've only known, or I mean, I only know. But of course, the Earth universe has massive amounts of colors we haven't seen.
Yeah, our little human eyes. We don't know what we're missing out on.
But it's
sometimes.
timing, and it's like if you had met somebody at the wrong time, it might not be the right time for things to kind of coalesce. And it's just like the stage of Earth that we're on right now, this trajectory, and it's like meeting in the perfect middle balance so the energy can converge and kind of melding with like this new energy of I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I'm not going to let them have control over me and have power over me. I'm not going to be manipulated anymore. It's all about truth, integrity, passion, just everything that's just truth, like King Arthur. Like it's about standing up for what is right. Like
Yes. I love that you bring up King Arthur. I'm like, oh my God, that could be a whole nother podcast.
I mean, I feel like it's a story I know, you know?
That, yeah, hello. Just to give some clarity on how confident we are on that fear loop is closed and that's happening. Do you have any other insight on how that system was taken out, the fear loosh system?
Oh, well, I did see like at night is when I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's because it's just a state of being half asleep, you know, and just like that state I'm in. But I kind of like do these things where I travel. I go sleep. So it's like the fissures that were created by the CERN. It's not like they were permanent. I didn't see that they like stayed that way. I saw them as like a way to create these like energetic disturbances, but they still had to kind of like go through and use their technology to get here and make it to where Earth could be a prison planet. In they're very smart, these things. So what they did is I saw them use these like coupling points. They looked like these little black triangles, four-sided triangle, okay, flat on the bottom. And they're like, when I looked at them, they were like heavy, but they were full of tech. And like,
creepy.
even though they were small, like this big, I'm like, oh, what are those? I was told they're coupling mechanisms. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. So then I'm like, okay, what now? So then I'm like sitting there in meditation, and I'm like, I'm going to Europa. I don't know why. I know that Europa is a moon of like one of the planets, but all I'm told is that I'm at Europa now. I'm like, okay, why am I here? And I see it's covered in ice, and it's like giving off this blue color. And it's pretty, actually. It's a really pretty moon. And I'm like going down into the ice. But then when I get down in there, I'm seeing it's used as an incubator.
Mm.
An incubator for energy. So they're using it. It's not like they're from there. They're using this little moon to trap energy. And there was like this, like, not a lab, but like a tech lab. And yeah, there's a schematic of Earth. And it was like, I was seeing the way the whole system was set up in this lab. And the Earth was sitting on this funnel. And there was all these other gadgets around it, but I just it felt very eerie in there, and I didn't want to be there. I was like, oh, I saw the system as fast as I could see it, and I was like, okay, I got to get out of here now. But it was like the system itself was a funnel, and there was coupling points around the Earth, strategically placed so that it could take the energy and reverse the torus field and drain us.
So gross. That makes total
Oh,
sense.
it was so
That
gross.
makes total sense.
I felt like it was it was almost like a microwave in there. It was horrible. So I'm like, okay, choose this moon to do that, whatever. I went down, I didn't know where to go from there. I was like, well, let me go into this funnel. But then I got to Earth. I was like, then I went to Mexico City, and that was just like, I was shown this was the hub of, all this bad alien stuff going on, and the children involved, the government, the way the whole thing, the systems there, it dates back. I don't know why it was so bad there, but it's bad. So that was the hub. And then I saw it date back from like they worshipped these alien beings. So it's a cult that goes back far back, where they worship them like gods. Anyway, the coupling points, I was trying to find where they were, and I was tapping in, and one of them was in Chichen Itza. I can't pronounce that really well. And I thought it was in like the main one, but I was seeing something to the right. It said it's in the altar, and I'm like, oh, it's the altar. So I went there, and it's under the ground, and it's like this little place where they put it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm told, just destroy this. Like, well, so in my mind, I'm just going to take a mallet and destroy it. Okay. And it's like, that's it. Okay. But I guess it's more about the intention of it. Like, I was so full of like anger, but good anger, wrath, like almost like, a good, courageous feeling of, you are not
Mama
doing this.
bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I crushed it. And then I'm like, where's the other one? And I felt like they're called ley lines, I was told. And so then the other one went to Iceland. And that one was this was like a bar. It was like a long bar. And this is the harvesting section. The harvesting section, I don't know, of souls, or it kind of looked like the crevice went way down into almost like a dimension to hell. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And it smelled like sulfur. I don't even want it.
Yeah.
But anyway, crush that. And then I'm like, okay. And there's nobody there at these places. Like, it's not like anyone's watching me do this. Maybe they were placed there a long time ago, right? Then I go and I'm like, where's the other ley line? So it's like going a different direction. And that was that one. And the last one was, and I was trying to go that way. And they were like, oh no, you got to go up to Toronto. That's where the last one was. And in my mind, I wanted to go that way because I thought that would be the way to go. They're like, no, you got to go to Toronto. I'm like, oh. So then I get there, and that was the last one. Anyway, there was that one, and then I went to the North Pole, and that was the final one. But then I'm like, I'm just crazy, doing this. So then I'm like, okay, what did I do? I'm going to put this into ChatGPT and figure out where these locations are. So I use it as a tool because I know that I'm not going to get too scared of. I use the AI now to kind of figure things out sometimes.
Use it as a tool. That's what it's designed for. Tools.
So I put it in. Are these systems? Are these places on Earth? What is it? What does it create? It created the perfect triangle. But not just that. The scientist behind it was basically stating these are specific points on Earth where the energy is like it's like the perfect mathematics for them to create a reverse torus field to suck the energy, like to basically destabilize Earth.
Yes.
And the North
I wish I
Pole,
had my book.
the fact that it created a perfect triangle, and then it in the ChatGPT said this is like basically could happen if this Europa moon was connected to this, and there was an intersection of all the energy going to the North Pole, in this pyramid, and it was like I saw all the ley lines connecting, and it was just like smashing them, you know. And then when I smashed all this, I felt like this peace, like I felt like I could almost like skate on that fabric, like it was calm, and like I had done something, but I don't even know if I really did anything. But
Okay.
I don't want to doubt myself. He said, "Don't doubt yourself."
You're not,
But
and
yeah.
that's why I gotta tell you, like, I was dying when you were telling me these locations because I'm just like, oh yeah, Mexico, surprise, surprise. Same day we go after Venezuela. I'm like, oh look, Stacy was in the hub cleaning out down in Mexico, distraction time. And then all I can think about is Toronto. We've got Niagara Falls, and you have all the lakes out that way, hidden pathways under the water. There's so many hidden things that we don't see. Like we have submarine lines and all this under the ground. And so you're hitting the points. And then the North Pole, you're cracking me up because then we just had our pole lines just shifted like what, a couple weeks ago. We had all this energy shift out of the North Pole before Christmas.
Wow.
There's a lot of cleanup. So all that you're like, I'm right here and I'm right here. And I'm like, no way, tell me more. It lines up with our things that we're seeing in reality at the same time.
I don't even know how I can help, but I'm basically being guided on how I can help. And then I meet with you, and you're like, well, this is really going on in the world, and I'm kind of I'm not really following the news anyway. So
well, and I have a weird way, like I don't follow the news daily. It's like things get said here or there, and I pick up on it. I'm like, oh, wait, tell me more.
Yeah.
This totally correlates to what you're going through.
Well, that's the only way I can kind of feel like it's going to be okay. Like, I mean, even if like I could have done the smallest thing to help, I'm not on this podcast to talk about any gratification going my way. I just really wanted to help. Like if I could have done something, that's what I would do, you know, to help break this technology down.
I don't think I could have gotten as far as I have without you. Like our relationship is definitely, I think we're able to help the collective because we're able to help each other. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to bring any comfort to people, maybe with where we're at politically, the climate with the war and everything, because honestly, for me, that brings in Jasara. And I want to give people calm because so many people who went down the, rabbit hole I did, I definitely had to follow financial. I had to follow like literal. What can I see in this world that is corrupt that can bridge me to a deeper understanding? Because I was a new mom and it was like 2016, right? I was digging into figuring out about vaccines, then getting pregnant. The literal mind, I went with follow the root of evil, which is money. So I went down the rabbit hole following financial. And where we're at now, understanding that we're going to go back to a gold standard. I believe we already are the Republic. I think it's just quiet until they can give us enough of that shock and ooh and ah. And everybody will be wanting to see the change. We're in that destruction now where the fear looping in on itself. It's crumbling the matrix, the prison system we were in. People who have been comfortable in that lifestyle of their slave system, where you're going to have your retirement and your pension and you work so hard to get this and that, that is going to crush some people, but I want them to feel okay with it because that was a fraudulent system that they were slaves to. And the transition that just happened with the Venezuelan, we went in there and then he says, we're going to take care of their people and anybody can go back. All that tells me is Jasara, the Global Economic Securities, was it Restoration and Security Act? I think I did that backwards. Anyway, With that, you have to be part back in your own country to get payments. Every nation is going to be going back to a gold standard, precious metal standard. We're already comparable with BRICS, but taking care of them first and their people first and squashing maybe one of the hubs of human trafficking and drug trafficking and all that is going to come out. I believe that's just going to be a dominoes effect of information. But with him starting with Jasara and out of the country in Venezuela, it has been terrible forever. The people need change. That's the first step. So all I can see is that we're going back to the gold standard. You can see it with those movements. If people quit, they focus so much on the headline that they don't look beyond it.
Yeah.
And they get stuck on the political edge. But seeing that Jasara started, which leads us to Nasara, which is national. I think the US is going to be taken care of last, our people. Because I was describing this with my mom, and sorry, this might go a little long. The way I see the US, the United States, is we've been the host for global parasites. And that's energetic layer, that is negative ET layers. Our little US has been feeding so much. When we go financial, every other nation is like the head of a tapeworm, and they've been siphoning us and then dumping their nasty waste as well. And we've been a dying system. And so going around and doing Jasara to take care of other nations and get everything cleaned up for peace allows those parasites within every other nation that had their nasty players digging in, getting them squashed and taken care of, helping the people get taken care of. And then what's going to be left is the US, but we've been deprived and eaten alive by these nasty parasites. We get to funnel in the good. We can't funnel in the good until all the parasites are gone. Otherwise, the parasites will eat it up. But that is also lining in with the planetary alignment, which is wild this month. January is a very big month because of all the ones. We have many, many portal dates, which is beginning. Okay. Yes, so many. Everything breaking down into when you do the sacred gematria, all of the portals, you do all the dates. I think there's like 10 or more for this month. And then
ask you when those are.
Yeah, I got to look it up. I had them written down. But there's so many different dates, and well, it's like the one January 1st, the 10th, the 11th, breaking everything down into the right math. But then we have the year of the fire horse, which starts February 17th. So we're still technically in the year of the wood snake, which is shedding of the skin. And then we're going to start year of the fire horse in February, where it catches all the shedded skin on fire as it runs straight forward. Like it's going to be a fast spring and a fast summer. I see the death and destruction of our matrix burning up before the fire horse takes off, and we're heading right into spring.
Mm-hmm. I kind of just, things just happen to me, and I'm like, and you're like, oh, that was this portal. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I know. I think that's how we validate each other is, yeah. I have to have that whole side in order to make sense of it, because I still very much have that monkey human brain, like, things are hard to understand. And then you have so much of the spiritual end. And I'm like, why did that hurt so bad? And you're like, oh, this is why.
I like the parasite analogy because that's all I've been saying lately.
Honestly, like it hit me hard this morning. I'm like, that's what it's been. We're fighting these nasty ass parasitic energy or literal parasites that have been feeding off of us like we're their host. And every time they, defecate, have extra waste, we get to absorb that.
When I think of parasites now on, it's almost like there's the macro and the micro.
Yeah.
Like there's the macro sense of parasites where like there are takers. Mm-hmm. They're out to drain planets. Like I saw certain beings, I won't even say who they are, that suck the life out of planets and just want to dominate all the resources, take them all. Mm-hmm. It's like those are the people there are beings in the universe that just want to take, and they don't even care how precious life is. They don't appreciate it. They just spit on it. It's like there are people on this planet the same way, and it's like getting back to a state of like, because our whole system is built on globalization and the trafficking ring. And the globalization is all this crap that we don't need. And that's why every Christmas, like, I just can't stand it. Like, I can't stand, I know my daughter wants toys. I know she wants to have the Christmas I had when I was little. Like, so I'm like, well, who am I to deny her Legos and her, even though I can't stand plastic and I know that they're going to print this plastic and how much of it just gets in landfills. I just can't stand the consumption and how we treat our planet. And of course, you don't think about that as a kid. So you're just like, well, I want to give her the childhood that I had. So, but when is this going to stop? I always keep asking myself every Christmas, when are we going to stop buying crap? When can it just be about like the time we have together, looking at the fire, just the simple things, a cup of hot chocolate, like creating memories, going on a trip, and just being grateful and looking at the stars and just like, I don't know when that's going to crumble, but like it's almost like everything's built upon it. And if it were to crumble all at one time, we would be starving. Like,
yes. But I also feel like that's why this last Christmas we had, like, even like I didn't have the energy to do the Keeping Up with the Joneses act. I feel like there's so many activities thrown in December to make it feel like you're living your life, and it's exhausting. It's too much. And I feel like more and more people this year were disconnecting from all of that and trying to even simplify. Times are hard too financially. Everything has been more of a stressor, and I think it's forced people to revalue or reanalyze what they value in life. And the whole vibe this time felt so different. I think we're going to see a massive shift. And I think part of that is going to be part of the design of the collapse, because the whole Christmas vibe was not about family and love. It was corrupted, and it's about making money.
yeah.
And that is going away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when it stopped, but I did have good Christmases. Like, I think it was just back before technology exploded and it was more simple.
Yeah.
And maybe globalization wasn't at its height that it is now, where Amazon wasn't dominating the marketplace and like you couldn't just click a button and buy something. It was more care went into the dolls. Like you could even see the Barbies the way they were made with rubber back then. More American manufacturers that went out of business, and then everything's made overseas now and cheaper. And the energy that goes into the toys, it's just absence. It's like it's almost like it's just gross. And it's like that's what we've lost the magic of. It's the care. It's like it's like it reminds me of Wall-E. Just like he a robot that goes and puts the little cubes together. Oh man, that movie, I want to watch Wall-E now. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, it's true though. That's all part of it's like a repercussion to the nasty system of the slave system of taking over. Everything just gets worse as it goes on, and we're at the last edge of it. It's ready to be done. We don't value that.
I did have also a feeling of like I'm in the kitchen and George is we're making dinner and I'm like, did they used to put candles on trees?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, honey, that would have burned the tree down.
No,
I'm like,
they
no,
did.
Because I was remembering like the smell of pine and candles and how simple it was. And it was the day after New Year's Eve, and I was like, remembering we kept our trees up past that. Like we celebrated it because it felt so good.
Yeah.
And like we're in this hurry now to take our tree down because it's so depressing. It's like, can Christmas just be over now? And it's like they're plastic trees. We even have a plastic tree because I have the worst sinuses. I have sinus problems. And I'm such a hypocrite, like talking about plastic, and of course I have a plastic tree, but
you're human, you're still living, you're in the matrix, it's not perfect yet, quit it.
But I'm like, yeah, they had candles on trees. He's like, no, they didn't. And I'm like looking it up. I'm like,
yes, they did. And they lit them with a string. You light the string and it would burn down and it would light all the candles as the string burned.
like to feel that energy of how simple it was. And the candles on the tree were everything.
It's beautiful white light too.
It was just beautiful, like the smell of it, the simplicity of it. There wasn't any cell phones around. Like, I know that we rely on all this and we have this technology to communicate now, but I pray that at some point it gets taken from us.
I definitely, I want to see a shift of it completely. Yeah. I don't mind seeing it all go away because I know the rebuild's going to be super fast. It's just that innate feeling of, yeah, no, it's already here. We just got to wait and watch it play out and be on the correct timing that serves everything for its highest good.
And I'm like, can't we just get it taken from us like in one foul swoop? And then I'm kind of like, I get this feeling like it wouldn't, I don't know if it's going to be like a slow, steady pulling away of it because it's like we're not resonating with it anymore. And I have already pulled away from my phone a lot. So if you limit the activity you have on there and the need for it, it just starts eventually. The way I saw it looking was the younger generation, the children of our future. They don't want it. They don't need it. Like they pull away from it, and they're just like, they look like phones. Just look like paperweights just laying around. Like they just get thrown away.
I love that because I just see things as like holograms. Like you're not going to have these bricks of density to be using as technology. You're going to have telepathy and actual like healing, different types of technology. This is going to be boring for the next generation. We're going to have so much more of our own gifts come online that they're going to be creating a whole different type of world that we can't even imagine right now. I could see, especially my child, being very bored with what this technology is if he's on a whole new frequency field.
I don't know. I get kind of, I'm not saying I get scared of technology, but I guess it's because it's not going to be within our lifetime. And we might see the collapse and we might see things get, but I have this feeling like we're not going to be a part of that. Maybe like we won't see.
Boo! I want to see it go burn.
Right. I mean, we might see like the repercussions of it falling apart, and then like kind of becoming more, pulling away from all the stuff. But as far as like, I've only seen a couple of these like, because I know there's good aliens as well. And when I tap into Earth now, I don't see like all this tech or anything, even though I know there's like a bunch of Starlink or whatever. I don't see that. But I'm seeing these like good alien spacecrafts kind of zip in and out of Earth. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're like more light based and like zipping in and out of Earth, doing something to help. And they do have technology, so that I'm like, that makes me think that is good technology. It almost reminds me of like they're angels. Like, I mean, are these dark ETs demons, and are those angels? I don't know. They could be. I mean,
yeah, I see that.
I mean, it reminds me of that.
Well, and I'm curious because, I mean, if we go back to ancient Sumerians, when people say they came in, they came from the sky, ancient Sumerians, and they brought the technology to help Earth, to teach people how to use the Earth, how to use the ley lines, how to do all that. Part of me thinks it's the quantum fields coming back around, and we can see that coming in as the energy fields.
Okay, that's what they're doing then. They're activating the Taurus field. Okay, so yeah, there's something going on there. Like they're doing stuff, but it's like they're like in and out, and I'm like, they're busy, but they're not. They're like minding their own business. They're not getting involved in our drama.
That would make sense because we're exhausting.
But I don't know what they're doing. But like when I think of the new technology, I think back at the Atlantis time of Atlantis, crystals. I see crystal technology. I see light, frequency, and crystals, and telepathy.
That sounds accurate.
To me, that's what technology should have been and what could be. And I know people give a lot of heat to Terrence Howard. Like they give him a hard time.
God, I love him.
But he's onto something with his like tetrahedrons and his like,
Yes.
the way things should be built upon the flower of life.
Like everything got switched from the divine balance. And even with our technology, the root of it was crystals. We have crystals in our heads. The crystal is our technology. It accesses us to everything in the frequency field. It reverberates. Like, it makes total sense that we now took their game of manipulation and inversion and flipped it back on them. But it took a lot of patience. We had to be very patient.
Yeah.
We had to be very quiet and work our way around. But that is their own system. Their fear loop, again, is imploding in on itself, and we had to hijack it and turn it around on them.
Yeah. Oh, and the crystal that I'm getting, like, and I at first I was scared of it because it was the 3-eye atlas that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
And when I sensed it, I don't know, at first I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And then it must have gotten closer to Earth, because when I saw it, at first I knew it was a crystal, but then it got closer and I saw it was black obsidian.
Ooh.
And you know about crystals, but I don't really know a lot about them. But I looked it up, and it did say a lot on black obsidian, how it draws out the impurities. Like it basically like, we'd have to look it up really quick, but I could probably put it on the screen if I were to look it up.
Yeah.
And so the core benefits of black obsidian are what? Grounding.
Grounding.
It's a truth-bearing stone. Like like basically, if it's imagining this like black obsidian crystal coming through the galaxy, not the galaxy, the solar system, and then the sun is reflecting the light off of it. Oh my gosh, it's revealing truth.
Yeah. It's hilarious because my understanding too with the 3-1 Atlas, every time it comes into a solar system, is to help that planet ascend. And by doing so is using their ship, which is a crystal, to absorb the energy of their solar star. So like our sun, which is also a portal, right? Absorb the energy and direct it towards Earth to help our frequency field break the veil to ascend to a higher frequency. It's almost like when they were in our solar system, they had to break apart the frequency field around Earth so that the light codes could keep coming in because they upgrade our DNA, right?
Yeah.
And we needed that direct push. So them having a crystalline, and they were helping shine it right to Earth to help us.
It's crazy because the last podcast, the one you were asking me about, the one I did before I deleted all my stuff on YouTube because I deleted everything.
Yeah.
I did it with my friend Connie, and her and I were talking about how these I said these higher beings they say they're harnessing the light. They're going to have a technology that's going to harness the light.
Yes.
This podcast was 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
There's your 3-1 Atlas.
That was before 3 Atlas even came out. So it's like, oh my God, I'm not crazy again.
You just confirmed yourself.
Yeah. It's so nice to know you're not crazy,
Yeah.
You're voluntary?
There's truth to some of this stuff.
There's truth and there's layers to it, but they all come back to the same. It's the same divinity.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like there's just so much we don't understand, and we fear it instead of just like, because we're like, oh no, the programming, like it's not aligning with, and I still feel like, because I wrote my last book about Jesus, like I feel he's the king of earth, and that still resonates with me completely. But at the same time, when we have fear of anything else, it's like it keeps us closed off and afraid and keeps us imprisoned because we don't want to, we're like basically asking for help. And it's that old story about when God, like, when you're like, I asked God for help, and then he's like, well, I sent you a boat, but you didn't get anything. then you drowned.
Yeah. Oh, my hair! Yes, you're missing all the signs.
We're getting helped if we're not afraid of it. So it's like I think there are intelligent ships kind of waiting for us to say, hey, but there are, of course, there's bad ones, but I think there's time and it's a perfect time and we're not afraid anymore, I think that they'll be like, hey, do you want our help now? Because we're not afraid of them anymore. You know, they can't violate that.
I wanted to bring that up. You actually just hit something for me. So on your last podcast, you were talking about, I think it was her name Connie?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she said something, either of you said, where the 5-dimensional beings couldn't, don't show themselves down here. And the reason for that, coming down to the 3D, if you think of it density wise, you're such a high frequency, it hurts so much to make yourself revealable or to squeeze in to a heavier density. So if they ever were doing that, it took a lot and drained them because Earth also was so low in its own frequency field. But now Earth is rising into another frequency field. I want to say, intuitionally, I say we're at like 4D going into 5D bandwidth of frequency. The 5D beings now don't have to drop as low to reveal themselves. They don't get physically drained to come to a deeper or denser frequency field. So as Earth rises, we have also elevated and raised our own consciousness. So they're not going to be as intimidating to see, and it's not going to hurt them as much to reveal themselves. So I think a lot of the reveal for these benevolent beings of a higher frequency and a mass amount of them, maybe to shock us to see them, we have to raise our frequency. Earth has to raise its frequency to meet a middle ground, because these could be 12-dimensional beings coming into 5D.
I do see a false light. Like, it's disgusting. It's this white light that feels like it like makes my head hurt on the left side. I don't. There's two of them. The only way I can describe it, I've used this analogy before, is like frosting at a bakery, and it's too sweet. And that is exactly what it feels like. Like, you're just sitting here like, well, let's wait for the false light to pass because it's going to fail.
Yeah.
And the sun is not this white color. It's like this beautiful golden yellow, beautiful warm light. And it's the true sun color. And it's like, let's wait for the real light to come through. And then I saw the top of Earth just get blown off. And I think that's the moment, a climatic, like a moment where we were like, whoa, we even wake up because we think we're awake.
You're right.
It's almost like we're subdued. Like we kind of have to be subdued because it protects us. It's almost like once the top gets blown off, we're all kind of like, oh crap. and then we just kind of know. And that's kind of like the veil is gone.
It's Vega.
The veil is what we chose when we came in and are incarnated on a third density planet to forget who the heck we are.
Yes.
That we're and so like we get gradual little bits. They're like, here's a little bit of piece of bread. And then that's all we get for now. We don't want to give you too much. But then once the top gets blown off, it feels like the pressure just gets released.
Well, and so what made you spiral into that thought?
God, I was called to talk about it. Like I just
okay, good.
Because you said something about because you basically explained it. Like you were talking about how these beings come down and they can't stand the energy. Like it's just like it's awful for them. It's like being in a pressure cooker.
Yes.
So their ships, I've seen some bigger ships. They have to use extreme protection around their ships so that they don't get like touched by our energy here. It's too dense.
That makes sense. It's like, I almost want to say it's like a magnet pulling them down. Like how heavy.
We're also in a reverse torus field that we're trying to clean up. And there's a grid system. I did see a crystal grid system that's been hidden from us for a long time that's going to be revealed to basically given back to Earth as like, okay, because it's been taken over, not by bad beings. These beings I didn't see were bad.
No.
There were these beings, the Lemurian beings,
Hmm.
and they looked like I've told you about them because I know
Yep.
we've talked. They looked like Pink Panther but white.
Yeah.
They they wore like really beautiful blue silken robes and very wise. And whenever I would go like Christmas time, before Christmas, it was always going to Antarctica. I didn't know why I was going there. There'd be these beings that meet me and say, "You're not allowed to be here."
Yeah. What
Yeah,
are you
you're-
doing there, Stace?
Yeah, you're not
God.
allowed to be. And I was just like trying to like go to a quiet place on Earth. I think that's just where it felt really good. And it was off limits.
I'm very fucking surprised you did not give us that reward.
And then I know they say the government makes it off limits, but it was more of like an agreement with these beings. You are not allowed to be here.
Yeah.
Like they made it off limits to government and to these dark entities because they knew what they were doing or something. I don't know. It was I don't have all the information on it, but they were like, "Who are you? Why are you here?" Every Christmas time before that, when I'd go to Antarctica, I'd meet them and they'd say, "What are you doing here? You need to leave." This time before Christmas, I went and I was basically taking back like the grid system because they have all these crystalline grid system that they were holding on to, and I'm like, "Hey, these don't belong to you. This belongs to the Earth. It creates our torus field, and it
Mhm.
makes the planet breathe. Like you can't keep this to yourself. Like you're protecting it. I get it, but it's time. To
It's
let
time.
go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see the computer glitched when we did that.
Uh-huh. Mine did too.
They did not want to let it go. Like they were like it felt like an attack because they were
Yeah.
like testing me. I was being tested. And it wasn't fun to go through, but it was like me standing in my power and saying, actually, no. I know that the balance of the planet, like it needs to have access to the geometry, the sacred geometry, you know?
Yes. That's what I've been saying. I love
Yeah.
it.
And you get it. And I love
I
that you
get
get it.
it.
So
Well, it makes total sense. The crystalline system of the earth has been attacked just like our pineal gland in our heads has been calcified and fortified and manipulated and shut off from everything. We can undo that for the earth. Imagine what it's going to do for the people of earth and then the universe. We're all going to activate. We're all going to ascend at that point.
yeah, because each planet's like a transmitter. Like I was told it's a transmitter for our energy. So when it's humming, like a beautiful humming sound, and the collective can feel it, like us coming together, like it
Resonance.
needs to be balanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if like that reverse torus field gets like completely demolished, then the grid system can come back into an alignment, and then that's when they say no, you got to give it time, but eventually it'll recalibrate itself.
Yeah, I don't think we want it to recalibrate so quickly. I feel like that would be terrifying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You know you want to rush it. You're like, hey, can we just blow the top off now?
Yeah, and they'll be like, you all want to die. Okay.
I know, because I almost did. I'm like, oh, can't we just? They're like, no, you need to slow down there. Yeah.
That is the standard quote for you. You slow down
Yes.
a little bit. I love that though.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically what we're going through in the most,
It's like this is all kind of transpired. I want to say everything we just went through was probably only the last couple months, honestly.
a lot of clearing. A
lot of clearing.
Yeah.
And I hope people feel I know it's a lot of strange topics and going out there, and it's just our inner knowings and our truth guiding us into this at this point. It feels peaceful in the midst of the chaos. It's like kind of standing in the middle of a tornado. I think you can feel it all around you going, but like inner being, inner knowing is like, nah, we're good.
We're on the same frequency. We're on the same level of understanding. And so it's like, so nice to have that connection where some people just don't even want to talk about any of this. Like, they're just like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't have this conversation.
You can't sit with us!
But you and I, we can't
Yeah.
go talk about the weather to anybody. We're like, cool, it's manipulated. Why are we talking about the weather?
Time. I'll probably just fade out with that, right?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Until next time.